Hi everyone, it's Diane. Can you believe I seem to be videotaping like every other day? So I don't know if you consider that a good thing or a bad thing, but that means that's how often I'm getting out of my house. Anyway, Diane, or also known as Lucky Gardenia, Dashboard Confessional. And again, I'm in my car, so very legit. And you know, I don't tell everything about my life, but I'm pretty much an open book for the most part, as much as I'm gonna be. Anyway, Elvis is in the building, so let's get her started. Did not spend a whole lot of time getting out of the house. Was going to try and pull it together to run by the local quilt shop, and that did not happen. And they're open tomorrow, which is remarkable for a quilt shop. So if I'm just in dire need of some fabric, I have a place to go. I have to show you my couple of things. I think I told you I ordered a mask, and this came from Michigan, Detroit, I think. And I have signed up for this couch to ballet online course, and love the teacher. She's very body positive, you know, not your typical. She's older, plus, you know, she's not a slender woman, and it just shows you that anyone can be a dancer and continue to dance, and she is so knowledgeable and just funny. She did some really cute videos on her Instagram. Every Wednesday they would have, I guess, like some type of challenge, and she has me cracking up. She is just so creative, and I think she lives in New Hampshire. I wish she lived down here. I think she'd be a fabulous friend. Anyway, she had on a couple of masks she had taken pictures of that she had ordered. And, you know, if we're going to wear these, we got to be fashion forward. And I just loved this pattern. And the way they placed it, you know, when they made the mask, I'm not going to put it on for you, but anyway, it arrived. It was very quickly shipped. If you are interested in knowing some ordering info on it, leave me a comment and I'll reply back with the info that I'd have to look it up, but I certainly could do that for you. But very fast shipped. And so anyway, I'm gonna be honest with how I pulled my outfit together. This is a little dress. Of course, I wouldn't wear it without a shirt underneath at my age. And I don't know if you can see, I've got a little white ruffle hanging out, and I've got on my white lacy tights with the capri tights with lace on the edge, and then I've got on denim Converse, and it's a rare day I walk out without any turquoise on. I did not put any turquoise on. I've got on just some plain silver and pearls and leather, but and I love this pearl necklace. I bought that for myself one Christmas ago. When you're single, as long as I am, you buy yourself Christmas presents. So, and you know, knowing my dad, he always bought him something spectacular at Christmas, and you know, like I hate to say, in many ways, hopefully the good ways, I took after him, and I always seem to try to find something that would be special to me, and buy it for myself. Anyway, the funny thing is, and this is where I'm going to let you in on how wacky my brain is, or I fondly like to think that I'm highly creative. But anyway, I wanted some type of ruffle at the bottom. I like Tina Gibbons' style. I haven't gotten up the nerve to try and make anything, so I thought I would throw together something that was in the vein of the style that her couture style, and she just rocks clothing design. So and I get primarily all my clothes from resale shops or thrift stores, so except this t-shirt probably came from Walmart. Just being real. Anyway, I couldn't find, I had some lovely long white ruffled skirts, but they were like down to my ankles, and I'm the shrinking woman, so they get longer and longer. So I looked at this thing, and I had worn it under a shirt, and it's actually a top. It's a top that is kind of sleeveless. It had some buttons. It's knit. The top part's knit. The bottom, I don't know if I think it's cotton. The bottom's ruffled, like 3 layers, different layers, not of ruffles, but the bottom is a ruffle. And I thought, I think I can make this work. So I just, I was going to say slithered myself into it, just, legs through the top of it, and tucked in the armholes in the top of my opaque tights. And I do have a slip-on, because I would be doing a Lady Diana going out with no slip, and the sun's shining through, and whoops. Of course, the Queen wouldn't be upset, but probably any relatives of mine would be upset if I was out walking around like that. But anyway, I tucked it in, and I could adjust the length of it. It was just perfect. So it's like, you gotta think out of the box. And more and more I'm going to be trying to use what I have. So anyway, just how my brain works, it pulled together. And anyway, so I think I try to live a joyful life. Wear your joy, wear what you want. I'm 61. Age is just a number. I mean, all these hashtags, but I try to be stylish, at least my own style. And so I'm rocking my mask, and try not to keep my glasses down too far, because then I look really wackadoodle with a mask and glasses. It just kind of, I could just picture myself. But anyway, and you talk to somebody, nobody can hear what you're really saying. And so this lady was talking to me. She just kind of stopped, and at first I thought she was going to ask me where something. I'm going to adjust this. I have got this propped up. I'm trying to not cut my head off. Anyway, she was talking to me, and I wasn't going to pull my mask down and say, "What are you saying?" I'm like, I said, basically that I didn't hear her, and she said, "I love your style." And she said, "I love everything about your style." And it takes a little to make me happy. That just tickled me to death. And because I'm quirky, and I'm kind of one of those people. I'm going to hit this, see if it'll make it any lighter. You either going to love or hate me. I mean, I'm not a milquetoast person. And for those who have not watched a video where I've talked about milquetoast, and that's like, I am not a beige person, hashtag. I guess I said that backwards. Hashtag not a beige person. Obviously I'm not a beige person, and if I ever become one, I probably have dementia, so it would truly be out of character. Anyway, I've kind of lost my thought on where I was going with that. Anyway, she stopped and told me that she liked my style, and it just tickled me. And that's just where, I think that's just the point I try to make. Say a kind word to someone you don't even know, and you can make their day. And it's you don't have to make stuff up. Don't lie to them. But, you know, it took her just a moment to tell me, but it just made me feel just happy that, you know, at my age, that anybody would stop and say that they liked anything about me. So, oh, I do have to also show you my poor pitiful purse. And it's pitiful because I've used it all the time. I think I probably told you about it. I bought it off of Etsy. And when I got it, it had some burlap. And it had a cute little, whatever the burlap sack was from. And it's kind of a, I don't know if you can see it. It kind of hangs down like a bag, you know, and it has this really cool stretchy thing where I can put my keys so I don't lose them. And it has a little pocket for it to zip up in. Anyway, it's falling apart. And I've already done a little bit of rehab on it. I cut some jeans that were too big. Sewn it in the pocket where the burlap is disintegrating, and I mean so much so I'm gonna start losing things out of the bottom of the bag. So definitely it's time for me to get creative and figure out a way to rehab that baby, because I just love it, and it matches with my quirkiness. And from this artist, I also bought a velvet purse in the same style that had a, she had done a Frida Kahlo. I actually asked Suri how to say Kahlo. Kahlo. I think that's the correct pronunciation, but I could be wrong. And I could have a Texas twang to that. So anyway, I need to look back at her shop and see what she's got available, because it's my go-to purse. And since I'm pretty cash nowadays, I'm not going anywhere of any, you know, importance other than shopping. Diet Coke, not a Coors, guys. Anyway, wearing these pearls today made me think. I was thrilled yesterday. My sister called me last night, and her granddaughter Camden is staying with them. Her mom's a nurse, and actually came across a COVID patient, so Camden's gonna stay with her to go to cheerleading camp. She calls it pom camp. Back in my day, it was called cheerleader camp. But it was funny. She's like, for some remarkable reason, I fascinate her, and Lord bless her heart, you know, for someone to be fascinated by their great aunt. I love her to death. What can I say? Anyway, she has all these questions, and I think it's just my, you know, kind of my attitude towards life. I'm kind of out there. Anyway, when Tracy had to go do something, she jumped on the phone and she's like, well, hi, how are you? And I don't know, her voice, I would have, you know, I saw her when she was little. She just had such a sweet little voice, and it was like, is that Camden? Anyway, so she had all kinds of questions. She's like, well, was Pom more popular, or was, what did she call it? I don't know if Pom was drill team. I'm not quite sure. Drill team and cheerleader. She was trying to figure out who was more popular. And I'm like, well, you know, Tracy and I were trying to figure out how big the squads were. Her question to me was, how many squads were there? There was 5, and then so 5 officers and then a captain. And we were talking about how, you know, I had started the naming of the squad. We were the DD's Devils. And anyway, we were just reminiscing, and you know, I'm like, I think we were all popular. And So just sharing all kinds of family stories. And I said, Camden, you know, she loves all the family stuff and who's this to me and what's that, and very inquisitive mind, just love her to death. And she was trying to figure out what Robin's baby would be to her. I mean, she's my niece. Robin is her mom's cousin. So is that a second cousin? Robin's baby? Someone help me with that. Second cousins I don't really understand. But I said, well, Camden, I need subscribers. I keep losing subscribers. You know, subscribe to my YouTube channel and I share all kinds of stuff. And go back and watch it from the beginning and you'll get all kinds of family stories popping out of me. So I think she actually did. She's like, well, what's the name of it? And I'm like, get your friends. So anyway, she did follow through and I think she did subscribe. But anyway, so we were just thinking back on, you know, just stuff. And this is an update. I told you I was going to ask my sister about the controversy on which line she stood on as far as Miracle Whip mayonnaise, what type of peanut butter, soft or crunchy, or smooth and crunchy, and what brand, ketchup, jam, or jelly. And I'm here to report, Diane coming to you from Texas with the update on what line did she carry on what we did when we were young? And I'll be darned, she sure did. She doesn't really eat sandwiches, so she said she's not really, doesn't really use salad dressing. But, I mean the mayo or the Miracle Whip. But she said if she had to have some, it would be Miracle Whip. Same here. She's a Jif peanut butter girl. Crunchy, okay. Same here. Then we got down to the ketchup, Heinz or Hunt's, and she thought maybe Heinz. I'm like, oh, you can't be a Heinz person. You've got to be a Hunt's. But she'll have to get back to me on that. She couldn't really remember. You know, these are very pressing questions I'm asking her. And then jelly or jam. And she is a jam person. So we basically carried on what we grew up with. So let me know about you. Do you and your siblings carry on the taste of the food that you grew up with? Anyway, so I did follow through and I did ask her. But we were talking about, you know, growing up, and Tracy and I just hung around. I said, well, we were talking about in the summer. She's like, do you remember that we went to City Hall and bought the swim tag so we could go to the swimming pool? And I said, we went to City Hall? And I think we went to the rec center that was right by the pool. Now, she, you know, I had to rack my brain. I came up with that and went back to her. She's like, no. She's going full throttle on the City Hall, but I don't think so. So anyone from Richardson that went to the public pool, where did we get our tags? Anyway, she said, we were just saying how back then, you know, we didn't lock our doors. We would ride our bikes everywhere. And she said that she and I would just ride our bike, which was pretty far from our house to the swimming pool. I'd have to, next time I'm in Richardson, I'm going to clock it. Anyway, 2 miles, maybe more. And we were young. Anyway, so we would haul off, and she remembered we'd get money for something out of the candy, you know, vending machine. It was like a pull thing. And she remembered she was a Butterfinger girl, and I was the peanut butter log. So kind of the same texture if you think about it. A Butterfinger log is kind of the same texture as the inside of a Butterfinger. And she said she doesn't like Butterfingers anymore, but I do. I did buy a bag around Halloween and it just didn't taste the same, but in theory I like them. But anyway, we were talking about school and grade school. And I said, do you remember, I'm losing the light here, guys, that Mom let me, go to school with this yellow cellophane or nylon, like blonder than blonde, fake hair, wig, and Mom let me leave the house like that. And, I can't believe I just won the weirdo at school. But she didn't remember that, but I certainly remember. And I said, do you remember I wanted braces so bad? I just thought that was so cool, which it's painful and all that, but to me it was cool. So I got a paper clip and I would straighten it out and make it like a retainer. And she had no idea I did that. And then it was like, back when we were growing up, nobody had pierced ears, but my mom had the earrings that you would, it had the little back and you would screw it and it would like pinch your ear. That's what they had back when she was growing up. So, but I wanted pierced ears before we were allowed to get them. And so my mom had some pearl jewelry, and I would take the loose pearls, obviously something had broken, and I'd get fingernail polish and I would glue them, stick them to my earlobes with fingernail polish. I was an out-of-the-box thinker from the get-go. I mean, really. Faced with a problem, I came up with the best I could do, but she had no recall of that. But it was like just funny things that we were talking about growing up. But love her to death. We talked and talked and talked. We talked about drill team. She was pulling out pictures, and then we started talking about this song called "The Horse." And I have posted this to my Facebook. I found it on YouTube, and our mascot we were the Mustangs, J.J. Pierce Mustangs, red, white, and blue. Basically copied Southern Methodist University, where my dad ended up getting his master's for the business executives. He was already working for the company that he became the president and CEO of eventually, but they paid for him to go back while he was working and get that. So he was a true Mustang. Mom, which I did not know, my mom, I knew she went to TCU for a year, but obviously Tracy, and she must be right because I've seen pictures, my mom went to SMU too. And must have been, I remember she was a Zeta in a sorority, and that's where I found all these, and I probably posted them to Facebook, all these wonderful dresses and theme costumes and just formal wear that you would see in movies. I mean, just iconic. And I thought it was maybe when she went to Highland Park High School, but Tracy said no, that she went to SMU. So that click, that was a missing piece. So anyway, we had the same logo of the Mustangs, the same, visual, and we had the horse song, which I found it under the University of Auburn. And at the end they spell out Auburn, but I uploaded it and I said, hey guys, friends from high school, I remember this song. And, the pep rallies, we did contagions with our pom-poms, we did stand routines, and, it just delighted my heart to listen to that song. So I got it for 99 cents off of iTunes, and then I looked up SMU fight song. We were racking our brain on, how we could figure it out. And I'm like, we adapted everything from SMU, so I'm guessing it was a fight song. So found their fight song, and right before I left, sure enough, everyone that was in drill team that has chimed in says, yes, that's it. And they're like, yes. And a fellow officer, Kim, who I didn't even know she paid any attention to any of my Facebook posting, but she even responded. So it just surprises me when people that I have no idea even glance at anything that I post. You see, so little takes so little to make me happy. Anyway, I better get going. I am going to Walmart, and the reason why I actually forced myself to get out today was CVS keeps on bugging me to come pick up a prescription. I called them yesterday and said, you know, can you hold it one more day? They said, yeah, sure, they'd write it down. Well, I'll be darned, I got a phone call, an actual person on the phone calling me, not a recorded, asking me about this prescription. And I'm like, well, I called and asked for a day extension. And she said, well, I guess she didn't have line of sight, so she's probably in some call center. But I'm like, boy, things have changed. People are really looking to make money with this pandemic because, you know, a lot of people have lost their health insurance, probably aren't buying as much medicines, just roughing it. And for them to personally call me and like, where before if I didn't show up within 7 days, they'd put it back on the shelf. It's like, our lives are changing. But anyway, I think that's all my pearls of wisdom. And hope you're having a good weekend. And I think I'm a little bit over 20 minutes. Oh, the funniest thing I have to share with you is the last video I did. I usually go right away and then, you know, put it as a favorite so I don't lose it in my photo area. And I couldn't find the videotape I just made. I'm like, oh my gosh, have I just talked to myself for 20 some odd minutes and not taped a darn thing? And I literally was like, you know, I just don't think I could do it again and just be as delightful as I normally am. Anyway, it was there, thank goodness. So I'm watching, and I think I'm over 27 minutes. So I'm sure you've had more than your fill of me today. And I think tonight is the night I actually will make that taco soup. I'll get back with you on that. But I had a couple new people comment. So thank you. Please subscribe, hit the like button, share it with your friends, share it on your Facebook. If anything, I'm good for a laugh most of the time when I'm not crying. But anyway, sending you love from Texas, deep in the heart of Texas, from this native girl. And be kind to others. One kind word in a grocery store or in a shop can make a person's day, or one nice comment back to somebody on Facebook. Yeah, let's just be nice to each other, guys. It doesn't cost a thing. Anyway, love you. Keep safe, keep well. See you soon. Could be 2 days from now. Could be tomorrow. Hey, bye. Peace out.